Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Up the Park, a football podcast. Hi Sean, how are you?
Good, Brendan. How are you getting on?
I'm absolutely fantastic after this weekend.
Very good, yeah.
Started a holiday.
Yeah.
Hammered Dundee Utd. What could be better?
It was honestly brilliant, wasn't it?
Aye,
it was so good. It was such a good performance. It was good to get back to that. We did have a bit of a rant last week about the performances, but we just want Hearts to succeed, don't we? We don't want to sit in the old ways of we'll take it because this is Hearts.
Yeah.
We want to succeed as a club. We want to see something, especially the team we've got. We can do something with that team. We definitely can.
I think the mentality of Hearts fans needs to change. I think that the mentality of, it's just Hearts and this happens every year needs to stop. I think we need to be a team that gets on the back of our team when we draw against Dundee or when we draw against St Johnstone, when we lose to Aberdeen. After the start we've had.
Especially losing to a team like Aberdeen this season.
Yeah.
They've been terrible and we made them look like they should be sitting third.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, this is we said it last week, we said this was the game where we would either see this is it, this is the best we could do, this is Hearts settled, or we can go out and prove a point against Dundee. And to score 5 goals against a team that had only conceded 6 all season in one game, and essentially bar the 2 goals, absolutely dominate the game.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a really good game. Just overall, I think if I was a neutral watching that game, I think that was the best game we've seen this year.
It was an excellent game to watch.
I think it
really
fantastic.
was an excellent game to watch.
Dundee United went for it.
Yeah.
And Hearts went for it.
That's the change I like, because when we scored past Motherwell in the game we went to see, all the Motherwell heads dropped and it just looked like, right, Hearts are going to win this game. But even when we were 2-0 up, Dundee United were just like, we're going to come back, we're going to win this, or we're going to score a goal, and then it went to 3-2, and then it was just like, they're still going to come back. And then they just kept going. Even when it was like 4-2, they were still coming at us and still giving us some problems. It was really good to see, and I really like it. That makes a great game of football to sit and watch.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that I thought we did dominate the ball most of the game. They rarely had chances. I mean, the first goal that they had, that screamer, was a screamer, but Kingsley deflected it in.
It did that.
You know.
I feel like if it was a normal, if Kings didn't get in the way, I feel like Gordon had it covered.
Yeah.
And the second goal was just poor defensive mistake.
Yeah. But I think the game could have went either way. I think it could have been 5-5. It could have been 9-2 to Hearts. You know, Siegrist done really well with shot stopping on Saturday. I think that if they didn't have him in goals, it would have been a rout.
Yeah.
It was already a rout, to be fair, but it was even more of a rout.
I mean, yeah, to have all those shots, we had similar stats against Dundee, but we only scored 1 goal.
Yeah.
And then to put that into perspective, we had 20 odd shots against Dundee United. Scored almost half of those shots were on target. Yeah. That's what you need every week.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I mean, you're not going to expect to score 5 goals every week, but to get 1, 2, 3, you need to see that every single week, especially against teams like Dundee and St Johnstone, who we know we can beat. We're better than them at the moment. I think Aberdeen would be a better squad with a different manager. St Johnstone, like we said a few times on the show, is they never really replaced the 2 players that they lost. No. So we should be beating teams like that. But I didn't expect us to hammer Dundee United.
No.
I expected us to either win 1-0, nick 1, or to even maybe draw another 1-0. I never expected to go and score 5.
Yeah.
But the team is from the kick off for the first whistle, just looked like they wanted to really win that game.
I think it's all down to the way that Robbie Nielsen set out his team. So we had a bit of a revised team. So we had Gordon at the back, Suter, Halkett and Kingsley, standard centre back. Can't really change any of them.
That, no.
Moore came in at right wing back, and Cochrane was still left wing back. And in the centre of the park we had Devlin and Benny, I was going to say. And then up front we had Mackay, Gianelli playing as like a pressing forward, and Woodward. Mm-hmm. And I thought that the way we set out on Saturday was more technical. It was a technical side of the game for Hearts. So we rarely seen the kick up the park.
It was just Gordon doing it.
Yeah, we've rarely seen it.
Even sitting in the fans around us were getting extremely frustrated because I think everyone knows that even from Gordon's Celtic days, he's never been a ball-playing goalkeeper.
No.
He's never been that sweeper keeper. So if he's going to get the ball, if he can't pass to John Souttar from 5 feet, he's not going to make any other pass other than hitting it up the park.
Yeah.
Because that's just the goalkeeper he is. Because he's a shot stopper. He dominates his box. He's never been a distribution goalkeeper. So the fact that we did launch a few balls up the park, but even at that, on 1 or 2 occasions, if the Dundee United defence were letting it bounce, Giannelli was getting in behind.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team were definitely playing to the strengths of the front three.
Yeah.
It was passing football. And Moore at right wing back, that was the best right wing back performance of the whole season.
Yeah, definitely.
That was better than every. Smith's. We call Smith Mr. Consistent, but that name's slowly moving over to Kingsley, because Kingsley's Mr. Consistent. He never ever makes mistakes.
Yeah, I think I struggle with Smith because he's been that much of a great servant to the club, but he's not an attacking right wing back, and we need attacking wing backs. Cochrane's very attacking.
You do for
he's
that
always
formation.
up there.
Yeah.
Moore added more to the game. He added more to that position.
Every single time he got the ball, he went forward.
Yeah.
Or at least he went to Devlin.
Yeah.
Or Benny. In Smith's occasion, you see Smith passing back a lot to Souttar, but Moore was taking the ball. As soon as he got the ball, he was turning.
Travelling.
Where am I going?
Yeah.
Like, am I running? Am I finding a pass? Am I making a really easy 1-2 but just moves us that extra 5-10 yards up the park? Moore was a revelation at right wing back. The first game he played for us was at right wing back, and he looked so shaky.
Yeah.
For him to come in there and absolutely control that wing the whole game, and he just looked solid. He looked like he was having fun as well.
Yeah. I'm sure that first game was against Hibs, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure he came on.
Right wing back.
Smith went off. Didn't he? Went Smith off injured.
Yeah, I thought he was absolutely fantastic at the weekend. Cochrane, he is some player as well. He goes under the radar. I know we've said previously he's been absolutely fantastic during games, but he's been brilliant most of the season. I can't really fault him much. He's been fantastic.
Even when we do fault him, you still have to think he's only 21. He's still plying his trade. He's still learning what sort of player he's going to be. So if he makes 1-2 mistakes, I'm never going to hold that against a player who's 21 years old and try to prove a point to his home club. And he's been brilliant. He really has. He's been absolutely excellent. He was really good again on the weekend. I can't think of anyone in the team that had a really performance where I would say they weren't great.
No, I think everybody played their part.
I think the only one we'll go through them and we'll talk about them, but I think the only one we really weren't that impressed with was Mackay.
Yeah,
because you had Woodburn on one side scoring 2 goals. You had Josh Giannelli up front chasing every single thing, even trying for headers when he was playing against Mulgrew and Edwards. Gino's 5 foot nothing, and he's jumping for headers and putting pressure on defenders. It just felt like he was just put there to run amok.
Yeah, he was.
But he got in behind a few times. I think his finishing still needs a little bit of improvement, but
I don't think he's an out striker.
oh, he's definitely not.
He's not an out striker. He reminds me of a standard winger that gets to the byline and puts crosses in.
Yeah.
That's what he reminds me of.
Yeah.
Gets past his player, runs and puts a ball in the box.
Yeah.
I think he's developing more at Hearts and he's becoming more of maybe an inside winger that comes in and shoots, or maybe a person that plays through the middle and has a goal. Because that goal against St Johnstone was through the middle.
Yeah.
It was a pass from
I think
the middle.
The good thing about Mackay, Woodburn, Giannelli, even Mackay, Stephen and Ida is they can all play any side. And Giannelli proved on the weekend that if we really need it, we don't actually need... If for example, we don't have Boyce or Nando fit, Giannelli can do that role up front and we can play that style of football. But it's good to see now we've got 2-3 different styles of football. Because we were saying last week it looked like we were a little bit lost. We didn't really know what sort of football we were playing. I think Robbie Nielsen's nailed it with the performance he put in on Saturday. That style of football with three technical front men, and then the rest of the team to do the defending and the hard work and the dirty work, and them to get our goals. It'll work.
Yeah.
I think Boyce will fit into that when he comes back as well.
Yeah.
He'll not run in behind, but he'll be in the box to score your goals.
What I was going to ask you, right? So Mackay was probably the worst performer at the weekend. Do you think the game would have been different scoreline if we played GMS?
Yeah.
Started GMS. Do you think that
No,
Mackay's passage with play.
I even think Mackay's performance on the weekend was still better than any performance GMS has put in this season.
Yeah.
So no, I think we'd have looked a little bit weaker because GMS just doesn't run anymore.
I don't think he's not the player.
He's
obviously not the player.
He's not the player he was, but he doesn't look fit. He doesn't.
I think
look
his
fit.
legs are gone.
Yeah, I think he spent an entire career sprinting. That was his game. He was a fast dribbler. He spent an entire career doing that, and when you start to hit 30 or 31, if you don't develop your game to change into an advanced playmaker, a striker, and you're still trying to live off that I'm a wing player, you're just going to look bad. And I think GMS at the moment looks really bad.
Yeah.
He looks really bad.
I think there's something about him though that you still want to bring him on because there's still that hope that for 15 minutes he can be the GMS of
Dundee United.
the start of the season or the end of last season,
Or the Dundee
where
United.
he was
Brilliant.
he was fantastic.
Yeah.
You see it sometimes though. You seen it last season. I know it's against poor opposition, but you seen the quality at the end of the season. He was absolutely woeful when he came in till about April, and then he started getting better. I think on the ball, he's probably one of the best technically gifted players at the club on his day.
Yeah.
But he's never on his day.
And you'll never get on your day if you've got players like Woodburn
Yeah.
and Mackay and especially Ginnelly at the moment, who's proved us a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
And we said at the start of the season when he started playing, he's looking a bit, his head's down, he's not really looking like he's up for it. But the last 3 games, even again the game against Aberdeen, we weren't great, but he tried. He was trying.
Yeah.
And then up front, Robbie Nielsen must have turned to him and went, "You're playing up front," and he would have been like, "What?"
Well, on Friday,
Exactly.
They told him that he was going to be playing up front, and then Ginnelly was on the Edinburgh Evening News having an interview about it. He watched loads of clips of Boyce for the whole season. He watched loads of clips on a Friday night, and then on the Saturday, he got a lift in with Liam Boyce, and Liam Boyce was talking to him.
See, that's good. I think it shows. I think the difference between the two of them is Boyce is probably a better finisher. Boyce in his younger days when he was playing for County and Burton, he was a pressing forward. He could run.
Yeah,
Boyce is obviously he's 30, 31 now. His legs are not going to be there. But I think Boyce will be able to adapt his game to become a goal scorer. And I think if that worked out so well, if I was coach at any time, I would turn to Ginnelly and be like, "Do you want to try this? Like, do you want to be a striker?
Yeah.
Do you want to learn off Boyce? Do you want to do that? And then if Boyce is ever injured, we can rely on you because we can't." As much as I want, it's like Mackay Stephen. I really want Nondulier to thrive at Hearts, but he's just not.
No, he's not going to.
He's not going to. Even when he came on, we were winning 5-1. He still looked dog shit.
But remember the whole training, like before.
Yeah, we noticed that, didn't we?
We were sitting there looking at Nondulier talk to the Motherwell player, not the Motherwell, Dundee United player, sorry, and his subs were in a team doing training.
Yeah.
With the sports scientist, and he was just sitting there talking. And then he went over and never even...
No, he didn't get involved. He stood next to this, just out... They were in a little square, just passing it. And he was stood outside the square just holding on to one of the balls. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the sports scientist asked him if he wanted to join, and he said no. And then at half-time we seen the same thing. We looked over the park. Every single substitute was out warming up. And Nando was just standing watching him.
Yeah.
He just had a big coat on and he was just standing watching him. I think Robbie Nielsen's turned to him and said to him, I'm playing Ginnelly over you because you've not proved your point, and I genuinely think at this stage he's took a half.
I think his attitude is shit.
Yeah, I think his attitude's not great.
I remember a couple of months ago, was it in the summer? I think it was in the summer the thing came out that he walked out of training. I don't know if it's true or not, but it wouldn't surprise me with Nondulier with his attitude. I think his attitude stinks.
Yeah, I think it definitely. And then when he plays, I want him to play well. He looks like he could be a good player, but it just doesn't look like he cares.
No.
It doesn't look like he cares at all. And
no.
Out of all the players we've got, every single player, when they put on that shirt, so far this season, 90% of the games, every single player looks like they want to be there.
Yeah.
They want to prove something. He doesn't.
No.
I just think when it comes to January, it would be best to either sell him or loan him out for the half the season and get rid of him at the end of the season.
I think we just sell him. I think we sell him for anything we can get because he was a free transfer. I think I personally think they should retrain Ginelli as a striker and buy a new winger. I don't think they should go out and buy a striker.
Ginelli can score
I
goals.
think Ginelli should be the second
Ginelli
striker.
can score goals. He's proved that.
Ginelli won't start in the wing over Barry Mackay or Woodburn
No.
for the rest of the season. So
you need it. You always with the formation we play. You need 4 wingers. So yeah, if you put Josh,
so you're going to need to.
If you put Gino up top, you need.
Sell non-duty, retrain. Well, not even retrain. Just
And
Ginelli's new position
and
as a
sign
striker.
Charles Cook from because he's class.
Sign Jamie McGrath, my favourite player, outside Hearts.
Actually, Jamie McGrath would be a nice signing, but I don't think we're going to be. I think we'd have to sell a stand or two to afford him.
I know, but who are you replacing him with anyway?
To be honest, I wouldn't be able to name a player that we could go for, but I can guarantee Joe Savage has
I
a few
definitely.
players ready.
I think they'll have players that play in the Premier League 2 and maybe Championship.
Yeah.
Lower Premier League clubs or under 23 squads.
And if Man
Maybe
United
another
play
loan.
really poorly, we could bring Ronaldo in on loan.
Oh, imagine! How are we going to afford his wages?
I think if every player sells a kidney, we could maybe get him for a month.
What is he? 500k a week.
He's on at Man United. 480,000.
£480,000.
And that was a wage cut.
The foundation of Hearts brings in about 180 grand a month. So we could get him for 3 days. 2 days.
Bring him into training to train Gino.
Just bring him in on a Saturday.
Yeah. To be fair, the way Messi's playing, you can maybe get him there.
Imagine.
But yeah, that's dreaming. But no, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure there's players. The fact we've got someone like Moore on loan, who's a young player up and coming. We've got Cochrane in on loan, who's up and coming. We've got Woodburn. I'm confident Savage will be able to find somebody,
Yeah,
even if
I'm
it's just 6 month loan or something.
I'm just worried about what happens after the season. So we're probably not going to be able to get Cochrane on a permanent deal.
No,
Because his contract runs out in 24.
well, the way I see it is,
And this kid probably wants to play for Brighton.
he's came to Hearts to prove his worth. He's played brilliantly. If he continues this for the rest of the season, he goes back to Brighton, and then Brighton loan him out to a Championship club,
Or they loan him back to us.
or they loan him back to us. But for me, if you want to play for Brighton, you go to the Championship to prove yourself there, because it's the Scottish League. It's going to be he needs to get Championship experience to play in the Premier League. So if they can say, you go to Derby for the season, then he's going to go there. If we put bid in a Championship team, he's going to the Championship team.
Yeah.
Moore, I think he's got 2 years left on his contract.
And they want a lot of money.
They value him at like 2 million, so that's not happening.
It's not
Woodburn is a case of, if he doesn't get his contract renewed at Liverpool,
I don't think he will. I think it would be renewed by now.
Yeah, if he doesn't, definitely try for him. But I still think that Championship English teams are going to come in for him.
I don't think we've got the finances to keep Ben Woodburn. Ben Woodburn is on what? £10,000 a week at Liverpool?
We'll pay half his wages, maybe?
We'll pay maybe 6,000-7,000 at most. But, are the finances there if we get into Europe?
They would be.
So if we get into Europe, even into the qualifying stages, do we have the finance to pay Ben Woodburn 10 grand a week?
It's not just that. You get to the end of the season, you sell Nondoulier. Andy Halliday leaves. He's not staying.
He's bound.
You can't get Moore back. To be fair, I think the right wing back position, I don't think we'll look for a player to cover Smith, because I think we'll use Logan and Brandon. I think we'll use them. I think Robbie Nielsen will use them. So he's not going to go looking for. So the money's going to be there because there's going to be players gone, and then that wage budget needs to be filled.
Remember, John Suter will be gone as well.
And that's what, $5 grand he might be on, maybe less.
I think he'll be less.
Actually, maybe because he's not signed a fecking contract, has he? Although he did get called up to the Scotland squad, so kudos to him. That's really good.
What will he be looking for in a new contract?
I reckon he'd want to be the highest paid player at the club.
He deserves to be. Does he?
No, Craig Gordon does.
Craig Gordon won't be the highest paid player.
But he deserves to be.
Nah, he won't be.
He deserves to be.
He's got a future role with
Our
Hearts.
highest paid player at the club, if you take out loan players, obviously Woodburn will be, because of where he's from.
I don't know who our highest paid
How much
is.
is Boyce will be on? Boyce will be on decent money.
Nah, I don't think Boyce will be. £3 grand maybe?
That's still
I think
quite
Gordon might be. I
3.5.
don't know if anybody else.
Gordon might be on about 3.5.
Suter must be on about 3.5.
Yeah.
Benny's not on much. Well, he will be. £2 grand.
Yeah.
Cammy Devlin isn't on much.
No, but he came from Australia. It's just where they come from.
I'd love to sign Ben Woodburn on a permanent contract though.
Yeah, I think even if you signed him on a free and you kept him for a year, at most you're still going to get money for him.
I think over a season he'll be fantastic.
Well, he's starting to prove himself now. We really needed him to step up on Saturday, and he did.
Yeah.
He was brilliant from start to finish.
I love it when he lands on the ball.
See, when he gets the ball, I just get on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Because I just think he can do something. That's what's been frustrating about him is I'll sometimes get to the edge of my seat and realise he's going to do fuck all here.
Yeah.
But on Saturday he proved everybody wrong.
At least he tries though.
It's brilliant to see him. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He tries. It's you see the class. You see the class difference between Woodburn and Mackay.
Yeah,
Woodburn and Ginnelly. You know what I mean? The way they play on the wing. The way they play is so different. Woodburn is so attack minded. He's so like shoot all the time.
When he cuts in as well.
Yeah.
Like everybody said it about he's not as good as him, but Arjen Robben. All he done his entire career, and everybody knows this, he just ran, cutting on his left and scored or found a pass. You couldn't stop him doing it. Like, you know exactly what he's going to do, but you can't stop him doing it. I see Woodburn doing that quite a lot. He matches up with his man who's in front of him, and then he'll cut left or he'll cut right. You know exactly what he's going to do, but he does it so technically and so smoothly. It's so hard to stop.
Yeah.
So it puts the defender on the back foot, and that's what he needs to do more often. And he got given such a free role on Saturday. I think Robbie Nielsen just turned around and said to the front three, if you see Mackay up front, you go on the wing. If you see Ginnelly up front, you just take his position.
Yeah, it was
and
very
just constantly
free
be fluid.
and they were always moving around.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
It was.
It was absolutely fantastic to watch. So let's talk about the Hearts goals then. The first goal, Ben Woodburn's goal. So I think it's Barry Mackay slips him through.
Yeah.
Or is it Cammy Devlin that slips him through? He takes a shot and it goes under Siegrist. Siegrist should have done a lot better.
The first assist was Devlin.
Devlin, yeah. So Devlin slipped him through and he got a shot and it went underneath Siegrist. I think Siegrist should have done better. I think he was
Siegrist should have
pissed
done
off
better,
himself. But it was a good goal. He took
Really
it very
good
well.
goalkeeper, really
He
liked
took
him.
it very well.
Who scored the second? It came very quickly. It was
Cochrane. Yeah. What a fucking
set
shot
up by Gino.
Gino, aye, yeah, because I think it was a Gino cross originally. It hit a Dundee United player, and then one of the Dundee players hit it, and it hit off Devlin or Benny, and then it went back out to Gino,
And Gino
and he's seen him
Just
come
popped
in.
it over the. It was it was so slow. It was a slow floated ball, and then when it was dropping to Cochrane, I had two things in my head. I was like, he's scoring this, or it's leaving the stadium.
Yeah.
And luckily, he scored it, and it was such a good finish.
Blasted it.
21-year-old, and he's just thriving in that position, and to get your wing backs like so high up the park just proves how different and attacking we can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an absolute screamer. So.
And then Dundee United pulled one back with Edwards. Fine shot. Kingsley deflection.
It was just unlucky, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, Craig Gordon.
It was a good shot.
Craig Gordon looked like he was pretty pissed off at Kingsley because, to be honest, I think Kingsley should have had a little bit more confidence that Gordon was just going to pick that up or just save it.
Yeah.
But Kingsley, it's a defender, though, isn't he? If anybody who's played defence, if they see a shot coming, the first thing they're going to do is try and get their foot on it.
Yeah.
It was just unlucky.
I just wish he got a bit more of his head on it.
Yeah, it was just unlucky.
Yeah,
it was just unlucky.
It was a good goal. I think it was quite a good goal.
It was
to be fair,
hit it well.
It was a good goal.
Give him that.
I think it was good.
Yeah.
And then after half time, Woodburn scored.
Well, half time, I think something massive happened for Dundee United is losing Mulgrew, because he was been brilliant all season. I think that was a factor to the game. I still think if he played, I don't think much would have changed. But he's definite factor. He's such a cool, calm head in defence. Who scored straight after?
It was Woodburn who scored his second of the match, and it came in from a cross or a corner, and then Taylor Moore hit it down and let.
It was all over the place. To be honest,
let Woodburn just guide it into the top right hand corner.
When I was watching, when we were at the game, I thought he'd shot, and it hit a Dundee United defender and just lifted over Siegrist. And then when I watched the highlights back after the game, I was like, "What a finish!"
Fantastic.
He just, the side of his foot, and it was just like it was almost like a
placed.
It was almost like a tennis racket. And he just went.
Yeah.
It was just wee. Yeah, it was so good.
It was fantastic. Yeah. And then we had Kingsley's goal from a Cochrane free kick.
No, Nicky Clark scored.
Oh no, Nicky Clark
scored
one back.
Really good header.
Yeah, it was poor. That was John Suter's fault.
As soon as the corner was taken, and then they started to counter-attack, everyone around me just started mumbling, "Where the fuck is Suter?" And then we looked up and he was still jogging back.
I know.
And then they just stretched us wide at the back with two defenders. They had 3 attackers.
Yeah, Nicky Clark at the back post unmarked. You can't stop that.
You can't stop that.
Craig Gordon was left by himself. You can't expect him to make these saves. And then we had Kingsley's goal from a Cochrane free kick. Yeah. Kingsley at the back post unmarked. Good header.
Header into the goal.
Yeah.
Nothing
good.
Really.
Good ball by Cochrane.
Good to see Kingsley getting on the end of the set pieces rather than taking them.
I know. And then the shock of the day.
My goal of the day.
The goal of the day.
Love it.
McAneff's goal came on in the 80th minute, I think it was.
Ridiculous like that, yeah.
82nd minute and scored in the 86th minute. What a chip.
It wasn't just a goal though, it was an absolute punch.
That was Gary Mackay-Stephen getting back.
I didn't even know
Nicking the ball up.
I didn't know he set that up. Yeah.
And then passed it through.
Yeah. So there's your Mackay-Stephen. He got an assist for you, didn't he? So there you go. Barney Mackay's name isn't on there.
No.
Woodburn's name is. Janelli's name is. Mackay-Stephen's name is. You know what I mean?
You're not going to play Mackay-Stephen over Barry Mackay, are you?
You would if Mackay-Stephen could do 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But maybe Mackay-Stephen's the new Jamie Walker, where you need someone for 15-20 minutes to come on and change the game. Not that we needed the game changed, but it's awesome to see McAneff getting a game.
I know, it was good. He was really good, actually.
Yeah, he just looks...
He came on and he actually looked like he could do something.
He gives you something massively different from the other two.
Yeah.
They two are very hard-working, very tenacious tackling players. McAneff's probably a little bit more forward-thinking.
But he played him on the left wing. So he took Woodburn off,
He played him behind the two. Yeah.
So I wonder if McAneff can actually play in them positions.
So if you play McAneff there, for me, the formation changes from 5-2-1 to a 5-3-2.
Yeah, and you bring another...
Yeah, and you put McAneff just behind the front two. Or you just play McAneff in with the other 3 and you have a 3 across midfield. But that's a good formation to have. That's what... It's not that we're going to ever be like this, but that's what Conte does.
Yeah.
So it could be that... Because then you just let one player box to box it, and McAneff, 100%, is good at going forward.
But McAneff isn't going to get a start over him.
No, that's the only frustrating thing, is he's came on and he's scored a goal, but you know next week he's not going to get a start, is he?
You can't replace the 2 in midfield.
You can't change that team. That team we played against Dundee United
they'll change it.
It needs to be tested again to see if we can go out and score more than 1 goal again.
Depending how Boyce is. If Boyce is fully fit.
Only change is you'll bring Gino back to the wing and you put Boyce up front.
But I don't think Robbie Nielsen will risk it. So if Boyce is even 95% fit, I think Robbie Nielsen will rest him. I think he wants Boyce back fully fit. Like 100%.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, Boyce played, every game in the Championship? Yeah. Every game at the start of the season? Yeah. Had a full pre-season? So you can see why he's picked up an injury. But yeah, I think you're right. But to be honest, after that performance, I was wanting Boyce back quickly.
Yeah.
But after that performance without him, I'm quite happy for him to get fully fit and rest and come back and hopefully slot into that striker position with that.
I hope we get kicked the ball up and he's back.
You see, if we do, I'm going to be so frustrated.
I think we played fantastic. I think the best thing about Saturday, right, was that 5 goals came from open play.
Yeah. Kingsley's header.
There was one from a free kick.
But even still, I'd class that as open play because we didn't score from the free kick.
I think you can't beat it. You can't beat scoring 5 goals at home.
For the past 3 weeks, we've been talking about how worried we are about open play goals.
And it's just proved us wrong.
I think a massive factor was Robbie Nielsen being back on the touchline.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You see when he's sitting...
That shouldn't make a change.
No, but you see when he's sitting up there and he's speaking to Lee McCulloch or whoever, or Stephen Naismith, and Stephen Naismith come out and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. It sounds different.
Yeah.
It's coming from Naismith, it's coming from McCulloch. But you see when Robbie Nielsen's down there, when he's screaming at you, I'd listen to my manager more than I'd listen to a coach. I think it was huge. Even when we scored a goal, he looked like he was getting the team G'd back up. He was just shouting at players, getting them ready to go. I think it makes a huge difference having your manager on the touchline. I really do. It's such a small thing, but he's your boss. He's the guy you turn to if you need tactics, you know. Maybe the tactics coming down from Nielsen to Naismith or whatever, we're getting lost in translation, but something changed.
I think the Aberdeen was the change. I think we needed to lose to give us a kick up the ass.
Yeah, because the unbeaten thing wasn't going to get us through the whole season, was it? The unbeaten thing was nice. It was nice to have that.
We needed to lose because you can't go. I'm not reiterating what we said last week, but I'm not. We can't go through drawing against Dundee, drawing against St Johnstone.
That's
You
not
can't.
acceptable.
You can't just. It's not acceptable.
It's
if it takes a loss for us
Yeah.
to actually gear up and like score a few goals,
It's the old Hearts mentality you need to get out of. Is you need to just stop accepting that occasionally we're going to draw games and occasionally we're going to have poor performances. We've had those poor performances and we've bounced back.
Yeah.
Now, can we keep this performance going? Can we keep this level of football up? And I genuinely think, as much as I was ranting last week about how poor we were, I genuinely think they have proved me massively wrong.
Oh yeah, they have.
And I'm happy to be proved wrong.
I love it.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
love to be proved wrong
If
every
it's
single
like
week.
this, yeah, 100%.
I love it. It's all we can do is react to what we've seen the previous week, and what we seen last week was fucking poor.
It was really.
You can't hide behind anything, and what we seen this week was different class. You know, we seen like a 2 out of 10 last week, and we seen like a 10 out of 10 this week.
We've seen what.
You know,
When every player gets their head down and focuses on the game, and wants to win, that is what we play like.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. It's been a long time since I've sat. There's been really enjoyable games, but that was one of the best games I've ever seen us play.
yeah.
It was just so enjoyable, like to watch the players have fun, to watch the players score some absolute screamers. I mean, even Cammy Devlin brings a different level of energy to that central.
He was fantastic on
Oh,
Saturday.
he was. Yeah, he always
He
is.
was
Let's be
fantastic.
serious.
He was better than Benny at the weekend.
Yeah, he was. Benny had a much more advanced role. He was in the box a lot more, which is still, he still looks like a deer caught in headlights when he's in the box.
Do you know what I mean though about the patter about fucking like keeping the ball too much in the box? Just have a shot.
He gets the ball in the
Have a
box,
shot.
and he looks, his brain genuinely looks like it turns off, and he forgets how to play football while he's in the box.
I think he looks for the pass. I think he
always
looks for the pass first.
Always
then
looks for the
to have a
pass.
shot.
Yeah.
And he's in the box.
He's too selfless.
Yeah.
When you get in the box and the positions he gets into, I mean, we watched him put two Dundee United players on their arse, and all he done was took a touch, and he gave himself that extra yard to have a shot, and then he turned round.
Yeah. But he also could have took the shot first time on both occasions.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the ball came in, he could have just hit it.
But no, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't have any confidence in his striking ability. Because
I think he was brought in to do these.
I've never seen him shoot.
No, I think he was brought in to do any of this.
No, he wasn't.
That's what I was saying to you on Saturday. I think it's very hard having two midfielders that do the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's good to watch them hunt down and take the ball back and win ball back and high up the park. But then when you go the opposite way and it's attacking, you're just like, Devlin likes to occasionally run into the box.
See, I think the role should be reversed.
Devlin's better at it, definitely.
I think Benny should be the one mopping up, and Devlin should be the one mopping up and going forward.
Yeah.
Or doing less of a mopping up.
Yeah.
He gets the ball after Benny.
He's got
mops
more
up.
energy as well.
Yeah.
Devlin just doesn't stop.
I think Benny probably is a better footballer. I think he's
Yeah.
probably a better level.
He's got much better ball control. He can take a touch. He can go. He can touch away from the player and just give himself that extra yard. Devlin doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Devlin wins the ball and then passes sideways or backwards to get the game going again.
Yeah.
But that's what we signed him for, and it's exactly what he does. You see, was it Edwards that grabbed Cammy
Yeah,
Devlin?
I know.
Did you see the photo?
Aye.
The photo of him looking absolutely terrified. He's like, some Scottish guy's got me
There's
by
still
the neck.
nothing, though.
Oh,
There's still nothing seen on sports.
Absolutely
Not
nothing
even
said
a
on
yellow
sports
card.
scene, no booking for literally grabbing a player by
And
the
that's
throat.
happened twice now.
Yeah, it has.
So the Rangers player done it to Stephen Kingsley, and then Edwards done it to him.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I remember, but I mean, even it's so weird. I remember watching like Premier League games where, as soon as hands were raised anywhere near a face, it was a booking or a sending off.
Oh, yeah.
In the Scottish League, it doesn't even get talked about.
No.
Like nothing happening here, nothing to see here. Just a man getting strangled. It's a joke. Like
Just wait until VAR's in.
one thing I will say actually, and I never thought I'd say this because I hate him. Beaton had a brilliant game.
He was good, right? Actually, he let the game go.
Yeah, he did. But he had a really, really, really good game.
Yeah.
It was a really good. That's probably the best refereeing I've seen at the Hearts games this season.
I don't think there wasn't that many fouls to speak of, to
It was
be
a bit-
honest. Like,
Towards the last 20 minutes, it got a bit nippy, but I think that's just because Dundee United were getting frustrated. But so were some of the Hearts players getting frustrated as well. But beat
Right
like the game
or
and he
wrong?
improved that with the scoreline 7 goals.
yeah. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
Loved
it was
it.
really good.
Absolutely loved it. Right, do you want to go into right or wrong?
Let's go through right or wrong.
Right, Sean, let's go through right or wrong then.
Right or wrong.
So, let's go first 11. Suitor. 5 point. No, well, right, sorry. Gordon. Gordon got a 6.17 on the BBC rating.
Gordon for me got a 7.5.
Gordon was
He
fantastic.
pulled off 2 absolutely brilliant saves.
That save from Nicky Clark where he slow motioned with his left hand up the top right hand corner and got it.
That was unbelievable.
That was amazing.
That was unbelievable.
He's a god.
He is a
we
god.
keep on saying it every single week.
He's a Scottish.
We'd be sitting second last without him.
He's got a sexy beard. He's got a sexy face. Just love him, man.
What was them stats on the SPFL website?
He's the second
for
most
most
shots
saves.
stopped this season, which is insane.
38.
38 years old.
Yeah.
Still,
I would say
7.5.
7.5, 8.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
He was brilliant. He was
fantastic.
The only thing you can't fault him for any of the goals, because one was a deflection, the other was shit defended, and the only thing I would fault him for is just punting the ball at the park.
But I think that's his only weakness. His distribution.
Yeah.
I think if his distribution was better, he wouldn't be playing for Hearts. And he wouldn't have been playing for Celtic.
No, I reckon
He'd still be down
sitting
south.
somewhere down south, yeah. But no, I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, fantastic. Right, so right centre back, Suter.
Probably the worst defender out of the 3.
Suter got a 5.96.
I wouldn't give him that low.
So he was at fault. I think he was at fault for the second goal. It was his stupidity doing back heels.
Did he lose the ball?
Yeah.
So he
doing
lost
a
the
back
ball
heel.
and he was out of position.
Yeah. On the top right hand corner next to their box.
Yeah.
Nah, it was his fault. But, he was still fantastic the whole game. You can't really fault him.
His range of passing's really good.
Yeah.
It's good to see a player in Scottish football actually play a crossfield pass.
He's a player that when he gets the ball goes forward
He likes
and looks for the pass.
He likes that, and that's what I like about him.
Yeah.
He's a very positive centre back. I would give him a 7 or a 7.5.
6.57 I would give him.
Yeah.
I think he was the worst defender.
I would have 3 he was, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird when they sent a coach up to watch John Suter for the Scotland team, and then Halkett and Kingsley both played better than him.
Kingsley played amazing. I don't think, I was saying to you before, I don't think Halkett's international level. I don't think he's at the level to play against top class strikers from other nations. But I think Stephen Kingsley is.
Stephen Kingsley's done it. I mean, Stephen Kingsley played for Hull in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He's done it.
I think Stephen Kingsley is
But
fantastic.
you say that and then you just think, who are the next 2 games for Scotland? Moldova and Denmark.
Aye.
Halkett easily gets a game against Moldova.
Yeah, he should.
Plus, Halkett is a sort of player that I don't think I've ever seen him lose a header. His aerial ability is absolutely
it's
brilliant.
fantastic.
For the player
He
that
is.
he's not even that tall, but his aerial ability is some of the best in the league. Kingsley's passing, interceptions, and just being there as a centre back is brilliant. John Suter is the 2 of them combined. Not so much in the aerial part of things. I don't really see him win that many headers. But for me, Halkett, if Scotland are needing a centre back, I don't get why he never gets a call up. Especially when he calls up. Liam Cooper plays for Leeds, yes, but Leeds concede a lot of goals.
I think the game is different. I think Halkett is an old-fashioned centre back. I don't think he's he's not a modern
Steve
centre
Clark
back.
doesn't. Steve Clark plays crap football.
No, but he plays technical centre back.
He tries to play technical centre
Well,
back.
Jack Henry's a technical centre
Grant
back.
Hanley isn't.
Grant Hanley plays in the Premier League.
Yeah, but he's rubbish. Like,
He plays for Norwich.
I will
doesn't he,
never,
though?
ever rate Grant Hanley. He plays for Norwich. He's been in Norwich's defence twice in the Premier League.
But he's experienced.
Both times they went down.
I know, but you can't blame that on Grant Hanley.
He's a centre back. He's an international level centre back who is crap.
International level for Scotland.
He's crap. He's a crap player.
He's not crap.
He can't. Well, if you're playing,
He plays in the Premier League.
yeah, but if
You're not crap.
Yes. If you're looking at players from the Premier League and you're Steve Clark and you pick Hanley and Cooper,
I would definitely play
you
Cooper.
play Cooper.
Yeah, or McTominay at centre back.
You play McTominay at centre back, exactly. Why is Grant Hanley even getting in the team?
Because he plays in the Premier League.
But you don't need it.
Because he's experienced.
You don't need it. No. Steve Clark, big mistake there. If you're listening, Drop Grant Hanley forever. Pick John Suter.
And then, I don't know. I think Halkett's very old-fashioned. I think if you judge him on the modern game,
he's a dying breed centre back.
He's a very get the ball and get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
He's very like get the
Jump
ball
up,
out of my area.
Jump
This is
up,
my area.
Absolutely
the ball
smash
doesn't
a
go
header
here.
halfway up the park.
Yeah.
Job done.
I would love to have a centre back in the middle that can play better passes. Like we said at the weekend, there's always the passage of play is so slow. So what usually happens is we play it along the back five. It comes from Moore to Suter to Halkett to Kingsley to Cochrane.
Yeah.
Whereas I would love a centre back that could play.
Just skip one of them. Just
Well,
miss one of them.
I would love him to play it straight to Cochrane.
Yeah. Exactly.
Miss out Kingsley.
Miss out
If
Kingsley.
Cochrane's open, play it to him.
Your centre of the three should never really have to play football. He should be there to defend and mop up.
Yeah.
Your other two defenders, they can pass between each other, but I don't get why we have to pass to all three. I call it Gareth Southgate football, and it's crap football. It's so boring, and it's what gets you relegated for the Championship.
Robbie Nielsen likes possession football.
He likes
That's
having
what
the
this
ball.
is.
The thing is though, against Dundee United, there wasn't as much of it, which is what I really liked. There was a lot of keeping the ball in the first 10-15 minutes,
Yeah.
but I think that was just to get a grasp of the game. But from there, it completely changed. Suter was trying the crossfield passes to Cochrane, skipping at the players that we want to skip out, and that's when we looked better.
I don't mind the passing at the back, just at a bit higher tempo. It's so slow.
Or a little 10 yards forward.
Yeah. Against Dundee, it never worked.
No, it
They
didn't.
were always there.
Dundee were set up in a bank of four,
Yeah.
and then a bank of five. And
Dundee set up to get a draw.
slow possession football just doesn't work.
Yeah. Doesn't
Right.
work against that.
Who's
but well, we'll go Halkett. 6.52 Halkett got.
Other than the classic Halkett moment, which he had,
Yeah.
I'd give him a 7.5. I don't
he
think
was
he
brilliant.
lost a single header.
I thought he was really good.
Yeah, it was excellent.
I thought he was really good. 7.5. Kingsley.
8.
You got 6.81.
No, I give him an 8.
Yeah, he was
He's brilliant.
brilliant. He was brilliant. He is the new Mr.
The
Consistent.
new Mr. Consistency.
He is brilliant. He deserves a Scotland call-up, I think. That
It's
role
hard.
for him is brilliant.
It's good as well. What I like about the Hearts back three are all Scottish. Scotland currently play a back three, so it's good for players. But
Yeah.
Kingsley plays on the left-hand side of a back three. Robertson, Tierney. You're
he's
never
not
getting
got
in that
much
team.
chance.
Yeah.
He's not got much chance.
Well, he might if Tierney. I think he needs new legs every
Yeah,
day.
I know. Nah, I thought it was brilliant. I love how Kingsley still gets forward though. It doesn't look like a back three because half the time it's a back two because Kingsley's up there.
Or Suter's away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic. I love the way we play football. It's
Now.
it's, now. Even at the
different.
start of the season. It's,
Yeah, it like you take the start of the season, you take the game on Saturday, and then you look at the 3 games where we were poor. In those 3 games, it didn't look like we had any shape,
No.
any understanding of what every player had to do. And I still think that's because Robbie Nielsen on the touchline is if somebody steps out of line, he shouts at them, "Why are you there? Get
Yeah.
back to position, sit back, push forward, switch." Pass it there,
Maybe.
pass it here.
Maybe.
I think Robbie Nielsen's a massive factor. I think he's a really good man coach, a
Yeah.
man-to-man, man manager,
Man-manager.
man-to-man coach.
So we'll go right wing back. Moore. He got 7.29.
I'd give him a 7.5
Yeah.
up there.
He was brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think he made a single mistake.
Nah.
And he even
He
left
was
it.
really good.
He even left it for Woodburn to finish.
Yeah. He was really good
Yeah.
actually. I would play him next game at right wing back.
Yeah, for me,
Over Smith.
now, Moore's your starter unless he does something.
He's not going to drop Smith though.
I don't know. I think even Robbie Nielsen can see that we played so well. That team will start next week. No, next week. Is it next week? No, we've got the international break.
International break, so.
Some mere international football.
I know. Boring.
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 It's alright, we're away to. We'll talk about it later on.
Yeah.
Right, so. Moore, what are you saying?
7.5.
I'll say about 7.5 as well. Cochrane.
8. Excellent.
Cochrane
Scored.
was my second man of the match.
He was my second man of the match as well.
I would give him an 8.5.
Yeah, he's
I
up
thought
there.
he was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he was brilliant. His finish was brilliant as well
Yeah.
for a centre for a left wing back. Yeah, 8 definitely.
He was brilliant. He done everything right. Got an assist, got a goal,
Mhm.
defended very well. not one of the goals came from his side.
No, it didn't.
So he didn't do anything wrong. He's becoming a really good, consistent player as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he was a bit ropey at the start, getting used to it, but he's getting used to it.
I think it's
For a really small guy as well, he's very up for tackles and very up for like challenging for
when I
headers.
first seen him play, I was like, he's pretty average.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't go at people. He didn't try and get past people. He lacked a little bit of confidence, but every single week now, 3-4 times a game, he's taken on his man, and it's really, really, really good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. He was great.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Right, let's go Devlin and Benny.
For me, they both played exactly the same. I'd say I would give them both a 7.5 or 8.
Yeah.
Because they both done exactly what they needed to do. I think Benny could have easily got more if he just shot.
I thought Devlin was better on the day, so I'll give Devlin a 7.5 and I'll give Benny a 7. I don't think they really had much to do. You know, they weren't. No, they didn't dominate the game like they have previously.
Dundee United are very wide. They play quite wide. So yeah, I don't think they really would bother them. But that suits them though, because if they're playing wide and not great football, Benny and Devlin just sort of, they can drift wide. Yeah. That's the issue we had with Rangers, is they drifted wide and they came through the centre and they sort of started to rip us apart. But when our central midfielders drifted wide against Dundee United, they didn't take advantage of that. Yeah. So to us, it was just 2 extra defenders out wide, and it just sort of nullified anything Dundee United were trying to do. So yeah, I'd go with what you said.
They're very good.
Yeah, very good.
Right, let's go with Mackay on the right.
I would only give him a 6.5 or a 7. I don't.
So you got a 7.25. I thought he was the worst player we had on the pitch, that first 11.
Yeah, but he was still good.
Yeah, he was still
good. You know what
I mean? 6.5 I would give him.
He wasn't his best on the day, but he was still effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give him the same as you.
Janelli up top, he got a 7.20.
I'd give him a 7.5. I thought he ran and didn't stop.
Work
and
rate,
then when he went off, he got such a good round of applause because he deserved it. Considering he's had a really poor start to the season, he started in the starting 11 and he's dropped out the starting 11 and he wasn't even coming on as a sub. And then you're thinking, is this his time already over? And then when he went off, the Gino chance started, and you could just tell we want him there and he wants to be there. So it's good. Yeah, I'd give you a 7.5.
Yeah, I'd probably be the same, 7.5. And then my man of the match, is this your man of the match as well?
Yeah.
Ben Woodburn. He got a 7.73 on the BBC. I think it was about an 8.59.
Yeah, I would give him up higher than that. Yeah, 8.5.
I don't think he done anything wrong.
He was brilliant.
He was fantastic.
He was. We've been saying for what, 6 weeks? Since the podcast started.
All he needs is a goal.
All he needs to do is get a goal or get an assist and have that one game where he really shows his quality. And that second goal was quality.
Even the first goal, the running for the first goal.
Yeah.
The awareness for that first shot, like in the 4th minute or something like that. Remember, he cut in and he got it right in the bottom left-hand side, and Seagrass had to make a good save.
Seagrass kept the score sheet, score line down.
I think Woodburn getting more 90 minutes and getting more games, he'll make that front three tick. I think he's a player in there
that
makes
more
it tick.
experience than any of them, really.
Mm-hmm.
Even playing 1, 2, 3 games in the Premier League is more experience than the rest of them.
Playing Champions League football, playing for Wales, you know. He's had a few international games. I think he's up to like 15 caps or something.
The manager at the time was Ryan Giggs and he was a big fan of him. But then Ryan Giggs started throwing him in a bit.
Yeah, he was very good. Right, we're going to do subs.
Yeah, go on then.
Nondouille.
1.
He got 5.76. Well, he didn't really do much, did he?
I'd give him a 5. He didn't
do much.
He was dog shit. I hate him. I'm actually changed my mind so much on him.
I thought you loved him.
He had one really decent game against St Johnstone, right? But even at that, you think back, it's like, yeah, but we still bloody drew with St Johnstone, you know what I mean? And then when he comes on the park and I see his attitude in the training things and his attitude at half time, and he comes on the park, we've been playing such good fluid football, and then when he takes a touch, it's like, just fuck off back to the club you came for, please.
So have you closed down the Nondouille fan club page on Facebook?
It's done, yeah.
It's done. The only member was you.
Me and me.
And you've closed it down now.
It's done, it's over.
Right,
yeah.
That's good. You
can find it on Twitter now.
Mackay Stephen.
We set up a goal. He got around. He got about 6.5.
6.
He didn't really have enough
time
to do. To be fair, you're saying that he came on and got an assist.
Yeah,
Right.
And the best sub, McInnes.
10. He's
10.
10. Okay, go on.
Nah.
I'd
7.
He was only on for what, 10 minutes?
I know even. I think he was on for 10 minutes.
Got the ball, chased the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Chased it at the corner.
Took his goal very well.
Sweet, especially against one of the best keepers in the league. And just chipped him like he was nothing. Yeah, I'd give him a 7.
Yeah.
For a 10-minute cameo.
Aye.
Definitely.
Well, that was right or wrong.
Right or wrong? There we go.
Right or wrong. Right, Sean, let's talk about the other fixtures of the Scottish football at the weekend. So,
Some very odd ones. And some very boring ones.
So, St Johnstone St Mirren was a 0-0 draw. Absolutely.
I mean, what were these stats even like? Like, was it actually like a good... You know, sometimes you get a really good 0-0.
I was listening to Sports Sound on the Saturday on the way back.
Look at the stats now. It was not a good 0-0.
No. Apparently it was quite sloggy, and apparently St Mirren should have won, so I don't know.
I can agree with St Mirren probably winning. St Mirren are actually a half decent side. We've got some good players. McGrath in that play, yeah. Your favourite player in the world?
My favourite player.
Didn't really score,
Outside.
though, did he?
Nah, he doesn't do that.
No,
He's not a goal scorer.
No.
He's a goal assister.
He's a creator.
He's a creator. He's a key passer.
Yeah.
He's a Jack Grealish of Scottish football.
But he's Irish.
The key passing.
Oh, he's
stat.
actually Irish. He's not like Jack Grealish, where he's Irish for a little bit.
And then once he gets called up for England, he's not Irish.
Yeah, he's not Irish anymore. Yeah, I'm assuming it was a really relatively boring game.
Just fucking tin pot clubs. Right? We'll go on to today's football. Celtic versus Dundee, which was a boring affair. 4-2. I watched. Oh, it was yesterday, sorry.
Yeah.
Sunday.
I watched the highlights.
It was boring.
It just... Dundee didn't even deserve their 2 goals. It should have been 6-0.
It just riled me up at the start. The only thing I really wanted... They don't deserve talking to about football. The club, and well, not even the club, the fans are a disgrace. They're a disgrace to Scottish football.
It is horrible.
It's disgraceful.
To be...
Booing and chanting for a minute's silence.
To boo... I don't really... Like, I just don't get it. Like, it's... Poppies is in the Poppy Day, and Remembrance Sunday is all about remembering people from the war. Like, how can you not respect that?
Just Celtic fans,
They're...
I know. That's all I'll say on the matter.
The total, like, polar opposite, the Rangers fans were massively respectful. They had a big gun and everything going off in the stadium. But, I mean, why can't they just... Maybe they should learn that from Rangers. Maybe they should learn from each other to stop being scumbags for 5 minutes and just actually appreciate what those people done. It's just...
No.
I actually got really angry when I seen it. I was angry. I was so angry. But even when you watch, I mean, I've got a few Celtic fans friends, and they were angry as well. They're like, "Why is this happening? Like, they can't be doing this. It's just such a small."
But they don't call it out.
No, they won't.
And nothing said about it. Won't. Look at the stuff. What happened when a person hacked the PA system at Hearts and played the sash?
It was all.
It was on the news.
All over social media.
There was nothing. There was nothing on the BBC Sport website that said about sectarian songs being sung at Dundee or the booing.
It was only mentioned in English news outlets. Yeah.
What's the point? You know, they don't. Nobody says anything about it. So Celtic fans that don't agree with it don't say anything about it.
No, they should speak up.
The BBC don't say anything about it.
They should definitely speak up.
The SPFL won't ban them.
The club themselves should 100% put out a statement, apologise, and I think they should be. For me, I'm quite extreme with this stuff, but for me, Celtic Football Club should get fined, and I think they should have fans banned from the stadium for a couple of games.
Yeah.
To learn their fucking lesson. Yeah. But they won't. They'll have the full stadium next week, and then they'll only give us 20.
There was IRA chants as well.
Oh,
on Sunday.
Disgusting.
You know, what's the point? Like, you know, if it just, the bias is there 100%. Because if Hearts did that, you imagine the shit.
Well, it happened at the semi-final against Inverness. We let off a flare, and there was some stupid songs being sung and a big Union Jack flag. And it was the first thing they talked about at half time. And I was just like, right, because it's Hearts. Or because it's not the top 2.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
You know, it's a joke, eh?
VAR unfortunately can't stop that.
I know. It's just it's intertwined in old firm Scottish football. And that's why I just hate them.
I just think Rangers and Celtic are the same club. They're just a different
They're
kind.
just they're knobs. I hate them all. Can't stand any of them Glasgow clubs. No. Right, and then Rangers won 4-2 yesterday as well.
Pretty standard win for them, but to be honest, like they looked good.
Rangers,
they looked really, and Ryan Kent's goal was absolutely.
They still conceded 2 against Ross County at home.
So we drew them.
Aye.
We drew
Ross drew it away.
Doesn't matter.
They drew Ibrox. Well, they
got 2 more goals than us. Didn't mention it.
And then we'll come on to the best fixture of Saturday. Well, the best fixture, second best fixture.
Motherwell's dominance of Pittodrie. Dominance. Absolute dominated the game.
So Aberdeen with big Dave McCormack or Dave Cormack, whatever his name.
I need to look at these stats because these are
the team.
Unbelievably. Although to be fair, the one thing you have to say is man of the match was Motherwell's goalkeeper.
Yeah,
but
definitely. So
but these stats are different.
Aberdeen had Motherwell won 2-0. Right, let's just say this goal, the score first. Aberdeen had 70% possession to Motherwell's 30. Aberdeen had 18 shots to Motherwell's 2. And shots on target was 8 for Aberdeen and 2 for Motherwell.
Yeah, clinical.
So Motherwell had 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals.
Clinical. Absolutely. Put on
13 corners, Aberdeen.
13 corners. Did they score from...
Imagine.
Did Motherwell score
corners
from a corner?
Imagine.
I don't know, I didn't watch the highlights.
I didn't watch the highlights.
No. I can't bring myself to watch Aberdeen. My mum's from Aberdeen and she's a massive Aberdeen fan, so I don't like watching them because she wound me up something rotten when they beat us. So I just sent her I just asked her if she wanted to go M&D's just outside Motherwell. She was fuming. But yeah, those stats, if you were to show someone those stats, they'd probably look at it and go, if you just showed them the stats, they'd be like, that must have been 3 or 4-0 to Aberdeen. No. Motherwell, absolute dominated. But I'm telling you, how is Stephen Glass still in a job?
Because he done alright, and Dave Cormack will back him.
He will. I don't get it. I mean, you look down. Look. The perfect examples down England at the moment. That Farke for Norwich won his first game and got sacked. So how many games have Aberdeen won this season?
No.
How many games have they won this season? It cannot be many.
3. Hearts, Hibs, and 2. 3. They beat Dundee United at the start of the season.
So they've won 3 games and we're in the 11th game of the season?
Yeah.
That is shocking numbers.
I know.
Absolutely shocking numbers. Let's have a quick look, civic look here. So Aberdeen, yeah, they've played 13 games, won 4, drawn 3, lost 6, and are on a -3 goal difference and are sitting outside the top 6. That's really bad for Aberdeen. Under McInnes, they'd have been up top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
They were always good. It doesn't matter what players had or what money they had. McInnes made them a good squad. I still think McInnes leaving and then them getting bought over, the biggest mistake they made was letting him go. That would give him any contract he wanted.
Yeah, definitely. We're not sitting bad actually there. So we've got Rangers first with 30 points, Celtic second with 26 points, Hearts third with 24 points, Dundee United fourth with 21 points.
Dundee United's goal difference is now 0 because we absolutely ruined that for them.
Motherwell was 18 points in fifth. Hibs are 6 with 15 points, but they've got 2 games in hand because of COVID. 7th for Aberdeen with 15 points. St Mirren are 8th with 15 points.
I think what's rubbish there is that Hibs' 2 games in hand are winnable games for them. Livingston and Ross County.
Yeah.
If they win both of them, that gives them 6 points. They're
Hibs have lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, so they need to win those 2 games.
They won't.
No, I don't know.
I hope they don't.
Teams can have a bad run and come back out of it and beat Dundee United 5-2.
Yeah. It's no bad. Well, a bad run for us was drawing 2 games and losing against Aberdeen.
Yeah, losing against Aberdeen's quite shocking shit though. It's Aberdeen.
There's 2-1 as well.
Hate losing Aberdeen.
Same actually.
Hate it. Especially now that Scott Brown plays for
them. No.
And Stephen Glass is their manager. Honestly, he must go home and play Football Manager and still get relegated in that.
Ian Cathro, 2.
Ian Cathro, 2, yeah.
Maybe he might be looking for a job. Why don't we get him as like a Hearts coach?
I'd take him as a coach, but don't let him pick any teams.
You'll be like, oh, look at this player I found on Football Manager.
I scouted him for like 4 weeks.
100%.
100% look at him.
I know his
He's got
attributes.
technique at 12.
Work rate of 19 though. So let's go on to not next week's fixtures, the week after.
Yeah.
So on Saturday the 20th
I've got
of
an
November.
international break.
I know.
Boring.
So we've got Dundee United versus Aberdeen.
I think that'll actually be a decent game.
I think Dundee United might bounce back and get a 1-0 win. Dundee United at home as well.
I want Dundee United to bounce back because I just want Aberdeen to lose every game.
Yeah, same. And then we've got Motherwell Hearts.
Don't let them have any shots because they're clearly brilliant at finishing. No, I think it's winnable. I mean, we've played them once and we looked like we could have beat them by a couple more goals.
Yeah.
So. No, I'm confident we can beat Motherwell. It's at Motherwell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got St Mirren and Livingston.
There are Hearts tickets still on sale for the Motherwell game as well. They're on general sale too, just in case anybody wants to go.
Yeah. There's no many left though. I seen on Twitter this morning
something
there
like
wasn't
that,
many left. Like. St Mirren Livingston, that was the final game.
St Mirren. Yeah, St Mirren I think will win that. Yeah. It's at home as well for St Mirren. Yeah, I think they'll win
St Mirren
that.
should win
Livingston just there's just something about them, they don't look good.
Right, so that's the week after our fixtures. So what are we doing?
No, there must be more.
No, that's it.
Where's Celtic playing?
Celtic are in the League Cup. And Rangers in the League Cup.
Disgusting.
Don't care about Diddy Cups.
Nope.
Right. So what are we doing this week?
Tomorrow night we're heading up to Edinburgh. Well, near Edinburgh for Bonnyrigg Rose versus Vale of Leiden.
That'll be a good game.
Local football. Bonnyrigg Rose is
We'll be in the away end.
Cool. Oh no. We'll be the only people there.
Chanting the Vale.
Motherwell when they're 11-0 down. Motherwell.
You never know, they might do better.
Yeah.
So that should be alright.
Yeah.
Lowland League football.
Lower
And
League,
then-
it's different, isn't it? It's so different.
We'll see what's on this weekend as well.
Yeah, because it's the internationals.
We're not going to talk about the internationals again. I
No,
can't be asked watching Scotland.
We done a bonus episode. I'll only watch Scotland if Suter starts. I'll only watch.
I
Scotland
won't
if
even
Suter
watch
starts.
Scotland. I hate watching international football.
It's boring, isn't
I
it?
hate
It's
it.
so bad.
I don't even watch in like other international.
No, I'll look at the games and then I'll be like, England are playing, I'm not watching that because that's boring. And then I'll be like, Scotland are playing, I'll watch it if Suter plays. And then I'll look for like Italy versus Spain or something and I'll watch that game because it might be relatively okay.
I think Suter might start.
Well, who's fit? Tierney's not, I don't think.
Tierney's not fit. Hanley's not fit.
Cooper's fit, but
Hendry's fit.
Clark doesn't like Cooper.
No. McKenna will play, I bet you.
McKenna.
And then I bet he plays McTominay at centre back.
Yeah, so Suter might.
Suter might get a
If
game.
Suter doesn't play, I'm not watching.
Yeah. So on Saturday we might go and see a East of Scotland League game or
If there's a
something.
game on, yeah, I mean,
We'll go and see
Gallagher or something might be playing.
Yeah, Hoyk might be playing.
Hoyk.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this week then.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for listening
Thank
to
you very much,
episode
yeah.
7 already.
Episode 7 already, yeah.
I can't believe it's November already.
I know.
Mad.
Yeah, if people want to get in touch, we've had a few communications on Twitter, which is good. We've had some emails as well.
Yeah.
Facebook's got a little bit more sort of people it's reaching in that as well too. So
If you ever need to get in contact with us, we can find us on Twitter at ParkUpThe. On Facebook, if you just like search Up the Park and then there's a group there. And then on email is upthepark1@gmail.com.
that's the one. Yeah.
So thanks a lot for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.